Hi, friends. I'm Katie.
And I'm Lauren. And welcome to Okay, but Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today, we're recapping and chatting about Bob's Burgers Season 3, Episode 1, Earsy Writer, and Episode 2, Full Bars. The synopsis for Season 3, Episode 1, Earsy Writer. The One-Eyed Snakes, a biker gang, is mourning their late leader and take over Bob's Burgers in mourning. Louise's hat is stolen by a high school bully, and she does all she can to get it back. Louise employs the help of the One-Eyed Snakes in the end, and a fight breaks out in Bob's Burgers. All right, so we always start with the puns from each show at the beginning. These had quite a few, and it was really fun. We always have the vacant storefront. What'd you get for that?
That was Annie Get Your Gum,
That's a play on Annie Get Your Gun.
which is one of my favorite musicals.
And then there's a secondary sign. It's a gumball machine shape, and it says open.
Mm.
The pest control truck.
That was No More Mr. Mice Guy, which, have we seen that before?
No, that's actually not a repeat, but it is a play on the Alice Cooper song, No More Mr. Nice Guy. I've actually seen Alice Cooper in concert.
Okay.
It was an interesting concert.
I'm sure.
The other sign that's included is a barred circle around a mouse skull, which is fitting.
Yeah.
And how many burgers of the day did you catch?
It looks like I caught 3.
Yay, you got all 3.
Yeah. Because I've just started pausing at this point. And I get I start looking because I'm like I'm having trouble seeing them because sometimes they're not very easy to see. Sometimes they're behind someone's head.
Oh yeah.
So we have the 2 carrot burger.
Comes with 2 carrots.
Spelled with a K, like carrots, like diamond. This was my favorite. Say it ain't cilantro burger. Doesn't come with cilantro because it's terrible.
Are you one of the people that cilantro tastes like soap?
So no, I'm not one of the people that I cilantro tastes fine to me. My thing with cilantro is I'm okay if it comes on stuff. Like I'll eat it, no problem. Like cilantro lime rice from Chipotle, no problem. Stuff from Mexican
love
restaurants.
cilantro lime rice.
I will never intentionally put it on something unless it has as a garnish. Like in the HelloFresh recipes, it's a garnish on so many things when they do their Mexican Asian fusion things, or it's a Mexican recipe or something like that. I almost never use it because it's just a garnish. Unless it's part of I'm making a pico de gallo or something where it's a major flavor element. If I'm just putting it on top, I'm not gonna chop it up and mess up my cutting board because it's a pain. It's a pain to clean up afterwards also. So I'm not gonna chop up the cilantro to then pick it off my food as I eat it. So usually what I do is I save it in my fridge and my dad uses it.
I love your opinion on cilantro. I got a lot more than I expected. I love this.
I'm very specific about some things.
Also, HelloFresh. Just saying. All right.
Yeah, HelloFresh. You want to sponsor us?
Want to sponsor us, HelloFresh?
We've had to disrupt recording so I could pick up my package. Only once has it actually only showed up after. No, only once has it shown up. One time I think it was Amazon.
Oh yeah, it was. My bad. Never mind. No, thank you. HelloFresh. We're sticking with HelloFresh.
Yeah.
And then the third one.
Not If I Can Kelp It burger.
A play on Not If I Can Help It. Surprise, surprise.
Oh yeah.
So we got some new characters.
Okay.
That do return.
Okay.
So Kurt Braunholer. Braunholer?
You're asking the wrong person.
I am. I'm actually gonna show you this
character
name.
names. Character names are not my strong suit, weirdly enough.
This is the person that voices Logan. I'm going to actually put it in the notes.
Oh, that's an actor.
That is an actor's name. I'm going to just add it to the notes real quick.
Okay.
The script real quick so you can help me out.
My instinct is to say Braunholer.
Braunholer. That's what it looks like, right? So Kurt Braunholer. I had to make sure I was saying it correctly. I apologize. I don't want to butcher anybody's name.
I do my best, but sometimes there's just no resources.
But that's Logan.
Okay.
Our lovely bully. We have Critter is played by Ben Garant. And then Mudflap is Wendy McLendon Covey.
Okay.
There's not a ton of information on that, but I at least wanted to put their names out there because Critter, and Mudflap and Logan all come back. Logan's mom does as well, but not as much.
Okay.
This episode is the first, and so far only time where Louise is seen without ears.
Okay, that was my I think I wrote that down. I'm like, do we ever see her without some kind of head covering?
So this is the premiere of season 3. It
Mm-hmm.
it has some noticeable changes in like the beginning and like throughout the show. This is where we finally get like more sounds, cleaner animation, and Jimmy Pesto is also seen in the reflection of the exterminator van.
Oh, interesting.
So I thought you'd like that one.
I like that. Yeah.
Um a total of 5.46 million viewers watched this episode, making it the third most watched episode of the series, behind 2 others. The other one you haven't seen yet is called Mother Daughter Laser Razor, had 6.4
Mm-hmm.
million. Human Flesh had 9.38 million viewers.
Wow.
Right?
For a premiere, that's amazing.
That is phenomenal. No wonder the show is on its 14th season and has a movie.
Yep.
I don't talk about the end credits a lot of this show. Like, I kind of like just leaving those for fun because they're always random things. They always pertain to the
Mm-hmm.
show. This one is
Yeah.
just too cute, though.
Yeah.
Louise has the words love and hat, LUVHAT, tattooed across her fingers, acting as
Mm-hmm.
a double reference to the fact of, love and hate.
Mm-hmm.
But it couldn't be spelled out because many cartoon characters only have 3 fingers on.
Yep. Because it's cheaper to draw them with less fingers.
Exactly. And so, and of course, she had her hat stolen in this episode.
Yes.
So I thought that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when artists and creators do that within cartoons,
Yeah.
making it even a bigger joke because they're just
Mm-hmm.
like, we're not drawing more fingers. This is what you get.
Yeah.
So, what did you think?
I like this one. Obviously, I'm like, so far there has not really been a bad episode, I think, other than maybe Bed and Breakfast, which isn't really a bad episode. It just wasn't for me.
Bet yeah, that one was just a not for Lauren.
No, but I was laughing when they walked it back up to Bob's once the bikers were there after the funeral, which I said, say what you will about bikers, they honor their people,
Mm-hmm.
and they protect kids.
Very much so.
But Tina saying she hopes she gets into the restaurant reminded me a little bit too much of "Welcome to the Salty Spittoon. How tough are you?"
Oh God.
How tough am I? How tough am I? This morning I ate a bowl of nails for breakfast. Yeah, without any milk.
How do you keep so many references in your brain?
I've watched the same, like, first 75 episodes of SpongeBob far too many times. I used to have the first 100 episodes on DVD.
I still watch it today with my kids, so we still watch SpongeBob.
SpongeBob jokes are a very specific subset in my brain of most of the time. I think the Salty Spittoon one was quite funny, but most of the time they're not funny. We've just been laughing at them for 20 years.
So it's like, it's nostalgic.
It's nostalgic. Well, that's what I did with for my 25th birthday. My best friend had been joking for years that she was going to get me a cake for my 25th birthday that said, you know what's funnier than 24? 25.
I love it.
It's not funny. It's not funny. But she apparently, in cahoots with my mother, because she now lives in another state, got a cake that says that with like SpongeBob stuff on it. And my mom comes home and she's just like, I really hope you know what this means. I have no idea what's going on here. And I explained it to her, and she looks at me. I'm like, I could show you the clip, but in all seriousness,
No, it's
not
hilarious.
funny. We've just been
Honestly,
laughing at it for 20 years.
I find it absolutely hilarious.
But yeah. So I mean, of the things that are ingrained in my brain, episode titles of Once Upon a Time and random SpongeBob and Fairly
now
Odd
you
Parents
get
jokes.
all these lovely puns from Bob's Burgers added to the mix. You're welcome.
It's a great time. My brain is so full of semi-useless information.
This is useful-ish.
Sure, let's go with that.
So, Mort in leather pants.
Yeah, that was a look. So much this episode, I was like, I wrote down, opening a beer with your boobs is a skill.
That is a skill. I don't have that one.
I haven't tried.
That sounds painful, in all honesty.
I haven't tried.
I'm gonna text Emily. Just get Lauren to do this.
No, see, here's the thing is, I do the extra gay thing. I just have a bottle opener on my keys.
Oh, never mind.
It's shaped like a lobster.
How am I not surprised?
I like it. I got it in Maine. I got it in the town that we go to. I've had it for years. It's great. It comes in handy.
That is so okay, but that's so funny because you're a walking Bob's Burgers reference. You have a lobster
Mhm.
on you at all times.
At all times.
How did I not know this
Mhm.
already? I did write because, like you mentioned, how bikers they protect kids. I was like, the fact that he knows all he does is wrong and is still trying to protect
Mhm.
the kids, and it's so funny because it's for not being part of a movement, and I'm just like, dude,
Mhm.
they did pay their for
They
the
did, which
damages
is
though.
always nice. When it came to Logan and the hat stealing situation, I did appreciate, I get wanting to make a relaxed environment for your friends where you don't have to deal with anything, but like they were walking past him. If he didn't go over to them and
Hmm.
tell them to go away, they wouldn't have bothered him.
Exactly. I love Louise refusing to step down as well, though.
Oh, she's absolutely the person that you don't want going up against, or the bully doesn't want going up against them because she will not back down.
Her going to Logan's mother.
Was perfect.
I loved it.
It was so good.
I really did love the moment too of Louise trying to get her like in the act of getting her revenge on Logan, and she's having to yell for them to kill the bikes so she can talk. That's the kind of humor that
Yep.
I truly love. It's like, could you just? I'm trying to yell. Shut up.
Yeah. I'm trying to have a conversation here. Can we just like cool the engines real quick? But I did write down early in the episode once I saw
Hmm.
the hat. I saw sorry the hood. I wrote down in the beginning of my notes. Oh, is this where the Louise Fire meme comes from?
Yes.
And I was right.
How'd you feel about that?
I mean, I like seeing the memes. I like seeing where they come from. I feel very, especially when I hear like the TikTok sounds. I'm like, oh, that's where that came from.
There's a
So
lot.
the fact that the Louise Fire meme is a I guess a junkyard incinerator is very on point, and it's just her yelling revenge
For her hat.
is also very for her hat is very much on brand for Louise. So I'm all for it.
So I think having a baby on a table feels like a health code violation.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Just probably.
Just a tiny bit. I just wrote down, is she giving birth in the restaurant? Oh, dear gods.
This baby is your spawn.
He wasn't getting it. He
He
wasn't
was
getting
not
it.
getting it. I mean, even down to the point we had sex 9 months ago.
And this is what happened.
This is also the woman that opens beer with her boobs. So I
It's true.
mean,
Whose name is Mudflap.
I think I had the same reaction as the dad of like you're literally named after a dirty part of a truck.
Yeah, I was gonna say like him trying to make conversation like, oh, that was my mother's name. Really? No, you're named after the dirty part of a truck.
Like, sorry, can't help you there.
No.
But no, I love this episode so much. It's so good.
My very last note is now clean the table.
Please. Because like we said in the last episode, Jane did not move the dishes.
No.
Can we please clean up after bodily fluids? Especially in the restaurant.
Yes. Where people eat. I mean, just really anywhere in the restaurant. Let's please just give it a wipe down
Just please.
a little bit.
Like you get like really good sanitizer when you own and work in a restaurant.
Yeah. But overall, it was a good intro back. I mean, I'm sure like coming back in after a few months, if any, for people that watched it live, this is the quintessential chaos that you're waiting for. Although the title is so hard to say.
Earsy.
Earsy. I mean, I get that it's a reference to him almost cutting off the ear. I did like him saying, "I hate when tags stick out." I thought that was very clever. But like,
Well, it's also to Easy Rider.
no, I know it again. I know what it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
reference to, but Earsy is just like doesn't roll off the tongue like other puns.
As you heard me trying to say it earlier in all my synopsis. Earsy Rider. It's a very
Yeah.
it's interesting trying to form that word.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this episode. I'm gonna go with my stats first real quick. I gave this is 8s across the board. This is easy.
Nice.
It's a 24 because I enjoy it. I can't stand
Mhm.
Logan. So Logan and
That's
his
fair.
parents, like, no thank you.
Uh-huh.
So that's probably why character is an 8. The plot's
Yeah.
pretty good. It gets a little violent.
Yeah.
Like thankfully my kids don't ask questions about this episode because I don't know how to explain to my 9-year-old what that good make and crank is. So
It's fair.
and personal, it's an 8. It's 8 across the board. I love this
Yeah.
episode. It's a good episode.
Yeah, this one, it would have been 8s across the board. I gave it an 8 for character, an 8 for plot, and a 9 for personal. So it got a 25. It gets a 9 because of the revenge of the fire meme.
Yay!
That definitely gave it an extra point right there.
I love that.
So, revenge, revenge. That's a reference to something.
It is. We got to figure it out now.
For some reason, in my mind, it's a Fairly Odd Parents reference.
It probably is.
Hang on, Google.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, it's Cosmo is as a turtle for some reason.
You know, Cosmo's probably a turtle multiple times through Fairly Odd Parents, so I couldn't pinpoint that.
No, I wouldn't have either. But no, it was I don't know if that's what I was thinking of, but it was Cosmo the turtle yelling revenge as he's very slowly trying to.
I remember
his
that.
wand. But that's not, I think, what I was thinking of.
What was it then?
I don't know. Maybe what I was thinking of was a Simpsons reference. Maybe I don't know.
There's a lot of Simpsons to go off of, so who knows?
Yeah, but I've only seen 17 seasons of it because I haven't watched. To be fair, I haven't watched it in a very long time, but that still means that I've watched at least 17 seasons.
I watch when Steven watches it.
I watched the Treehouses of Horror.
Oh wait, isn't that out now?
The new one I think is out or will be out this week.
Okay, I am gonna have to preface the next synopsis that we are filming this October 19th of 2023. It is almost Halloween.
Yes, regardless of when you hear this, this was very aptly timed for us.
This was timed perfectly for Lauren to see her first ever Halloween Bob's Burgers episode. It was quite literally the perfect time.
Oh yeah. Especially since we're taking off the week of Halloween.
We are taking, well, it's your birthday.
It's my birthday and Halloween.
Yeah. So, season 3, episode 2, Full Bars. It's Halloween. The Belcher kids insist on trick-or-treating on their own this year, and when the neighborhood all seem to forget to provide candy, they take the ferry over to King's Head Island, where the houses are giving out full bars. Teenagers of the island then begin their hell hunt, terrorizing the younger kids. Linda and Bob attend Teddy's Halloween party. Teddy's pet guinea pig sadly dies, and Teddy is determined to discover her killer. That's a synopsis.
That's a synopsis.
I'm proud of that one.
Again, there's definitely a correlation between our enjoyment of the episodes and how big our synopses are. It's not
there
just
really
me.
is.
It's not just me. You do it too.
I do it too. All right, so of course, all our puns are Halloween themed.
Mm-hmm. So the year-round Halloween store closed on Halloween.
Ask about our masks.
Ask about their masks.
That's what it says. The secondary sign.
Yes. And that's all, folks.
Exterminator. So this one is the very similar wordplay for the Rats All folks that we saw in the entirety of season 1.
Yep.
But it's Looney Tunes. That's all, folks. The bats fly in instead of vermin scurrying along the sidewalk. So that's another different thing. And the sign includes a dead bat.
So was there only just the one burger?
Yes.
Because it was just the one night? So it's the Jack-O-Lentil burger.
It's in Jack-O-Lantern. It literally says in the notes on Wiki, as in Jack-O-Lantern, this is a Halloween episode. Like in the notes, like in Wiki, it says that. And I'm like, you don't say.
That is brand new information.
So I got my actors mixed up. And I feel terrible.
How dare you? You are such a fake fan.
I am a fake fan. So
I love that we're bringing that in now.
I know, right? I kept mistaking Tim Meadows. Tim Meadows plays Mike, the mailman. I thought it was Don Cheadle. I'm a terrible person.
Their voices are kind of similar.
Okay, so I'm not that terrible. Their voices are quite...
I did recognize that it was Tim Meadows, but their voices are similar.
I don't know how I messed up that.
Because just
Mike...
But I heard his voice and I'm like, oh, that's the principal from Mean Girls. That was my brain was just like, yep, that's who that is.
And my brain, for some odd reason, has always thought Don Cheadle. I was wrong. So I apologize to Tim Meadows. That Tim Meadows is Mike the Mailman, not Don Cheadle. But I don't think I've ever said that Don Cheadle was. And if I have, I don't
think you have. We ever heard the mailman?
We've had the mailman come in before. This isn't our introduction of Mike.
Okay, but I don't think you've mentioned who plays him.
I don't think I have either, which is my mistake as well. I should have known that.
I'm picking and choosing when I talk about certain people. Like, we've seen a whole lot of Megan Ori and Beverly Elliott. You'll hear their IMDb situation in 2 episodes.
Yeah, see, I was waiting for when we had more Mike because we
Yeah.
eventually get a lot more Mike. So that is my mistake. I apologize to the actors.
I'm sure they forgive you.
If they'll ever even hear this.
Hey, you never know.
I doubt they will.
Gotta dream big.
So, the sign on Mr. Fran's door reads "Trick or treat each other with love."
Aww.
So I remember you mentioned that you're like, I did not need to see that much of Teddy, and now you get to see Teddy's apartment.
Yep.
Spray painted the entirety of it orange and black.
Yeah, that's not safe.
Like the things I noticed, the furniture. He
Mhm.
painted himself, the guinea pig, the furniture, the ceiling, the walls, the floor, everything. Can you imagine what that room would have smelled like?
I don't want to.
I mean,
Almost as bad as Regina's office because she still had the spray can.
there are so many like similarities in our episodes, and it's so funny. I absolutely love this. But my favorite line, I just want to give you my favorite line real quick, and that was, Queen Latifah, give me strength.
It was the specificity of Jean's costume for me. It was a very specific era of Queen Latifah.
What did you think of their costumes? I should probably actually explain their costumes, because we did have...
I was saying Louise definitely didn't need to be carrying around scissors all night.
No, she was dressed as Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
Which is very fitting for Louise, I will say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then we had
the mommy mummy.
Tina was the mommy mummy. She's literally just wrapped in toilet paper, and Bob was like, let's put that back on the roll. And Jean was Queen Latifah from her which one was that one? UNIT, the Unity phase, so to speak. During her Unity phase. Absolutely love these costumes. I love the Halloween episodes because we always get to see their costumes. Linda was of course a mermaid. She doesn't always dress up, so it's fun when we have an episode where she does actually, like a Halloween episode where she does get in costume. And obviously, it's part of the plot. Bob doesn't like dressing up for Halloween.
No, he doesn't. I wrote down, just a fat suit is not a costume.
He could have had Summer Frankenstein.
Exactly, or literally any other costume. I did point out though, I'm like, I understand that the costume is fundamentally different, but Teddy has the fear of people in furry costumes, and yet he's dressed as a tiger.
Maybe it's the like putting on the head and everything.
Also, yeah, maybe it's the mask with like the unseeing eyes situation.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah.
So the entire plot line of them going over into King's Head Islands. King's Head Island. I can say this. We get to see a lot of King's Head Island in the future. I really love that we get to see like, hey, no, like this is mostly where your more affluent of the community live. You have to take a ferry to get there. What did you think of Hell Hunt?
Teenagers are the worst, is what I wrote down. Teenagers are the worst. I did appreciate the tactic of how they got him out, because how they got the kids away from the teenagers, because teenagers are the worst. And teenagers are also idiots, especially teenage boys. As they should be. Like, that's the years for them to be idiots. But, you know...
Oh, it sticks for a little while longer.
But, like, as I wrote down, Hell Hunt, TV always makes me think teenagers did these kinds of things in real life.
It had to be a thing from the 80s. That's the only way I could, like, imagine it ever happening, was, like, maybe in the 80s, possibly the 90s.
Yeah, like, around me, every once in a while, kids would spray paint stop signs. That's basically the extent of what we would see.
Yeah, I've never seen stuff like this.
Not spray paint to the point where, like, they were unreadable. Like, they would put, like, extra letters and stuff. Like, they wouldn't do anything, like, to make the stop signs unusable. But, like, no one ever really did anything, like, in real life. But, like, TV made it seem so prevalent. And I'm like, this is not a thing.
Well, that's like how a lot of people ask, well, is that what, like, who aren't from the U.S. will always ask when they meet someone who's not in the U.S., they'll ask, is that really how school is over there? Like, because when you watch our media, it makes it out that we are very cliquey, very...
It makes it seem like our classes are all study halls, and we have, like, these massively, like, extensive lunches. For the first 3 years that I was in high school, the way that our lunch periods worked, our lunch periods were actually shorter than our regular periods.
Yeah, same.
Because we had basically the middle of we had 9 class periods, but it was spread out over 12 numbers, because once you hit the lunch periods were 4, 6, 8, and 10, and they I think
Mm-hmm.
were 28 minutes instead of 42. So if you had lunch,
Wow.
say, yeah, so I think if you had lunch, say 6th period, you had lunch. So you went to period 4, 5, you went to
Mm-hmm.
lunch 6th period, and then you had 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11 and 12 were back to your regular 42-minute periods, or however you want to configure that. So you would hear the bell like 11 minutes into class sometimes, you just
Yeah.
wouldn't get up. But like schools in America, like with lunch periods, they tried to like cram that in. When I was a senior, they got rid
They
of
give
that.
us like 30 minutes to eat.
Yeah, I think by my senior year it was back to they just made everything 42 minutes, which was fine. But
Yeah,
like,
we did like just 7 periods, and then you were either first, second, or third lunch, depending on what class you were in, which
yeah,
hallway you were on,
yeah,
essentially.
yeah. One of the schools that I worked in when I was gonna be a teacher didn't do that. They were on block schedules, so they had 4 blocks out of the day, like 4. Well, I don't know. I guess they were 2-hour blocks roughly, or like whatever time that works out to. So you would alternate between days what classes you went to, but like I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
I still to this day don't know how their lunch system worked, because you're not going to lunch for 2 hours.
Yeah, it does not make sense to
Yeah,
me. Like, what?
no.
I did, speaking of food, talking about lunch,
Mm-hmm.
um, the hot sauce in the underwear was a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Classic thing to do. Still weird that only one of them was wearing underwear, but finding out that Gene knew and how he knew that that hot sauce did not feel good on your privates. Who
Nope.
eats a taco on the toilet?
Uh, uh,
I don't know how to I don't know how to read your face right now. I'm just gonna move on. Never mind.
no, it was. I was thinking of an L word joke. You haven't
I
seen it.
haven't watched that yet. I'll get there eventually.
It wasn't taco eating, but still.
I I, I thought it was
No, but also I wrote down no Gene, no taco toilet time.
hot taco toilet time. Oh my
No
god.
taco toilet time.
Taco toilet time.
Mm-mm.
I don't know how to respond to that.
No. I need to preface this. I have not actually eaten tacos on the toilet. I feel the need to say that. Defend my honor a little bit. I was making a very poorly placed joke.
I've never eaten on the toilet. I don't that feels no. Things are coming
No.
out of you. Don't put more in
No.
you. Like that doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Did you ever think you'd get to talk about things like this when talking about a TV show?
Never in my wildest dreams. This podcast continues to meet my dreams and exceeds them.
So how did you feel? Like not stats wise yet, but how what else you got for me in your own notes? Like how do you feel about this one?
I mean, overall, I liked it. Again, with the SpongeBob references, the music while they're on, what was the name of the island again?
King's Head Island.
So okay, so the music while they're trick or treating on King's Head Island gave me very much like the episode of SpongeBob where Squidward moves to the town where they all look like him.
Yes.
It gave me that vibe.
I love that.
It's good. It's good vibe. But again, with the figuring out where they're supposed to be located, because again, this is another tick in the New England column. Islands off of the mainland that are bizarrely more affluent than the mainland sector is more New England than it is Jersey Shore. Because I really want to see this map. Because again, this and Lobster Fest and a couple of and like Wharf in general. Those are all ticks in the New England column. However, so much of the setup is also still Jersey Shore. So like I'm like making a mental list in my head.
I love this show because I'm looking through, and once again, like it's really really hard to find episodes that aren't good of this show.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good.
So many of them, I'm just like, oh my god, I love these things from this episode.
That's the thing with the Once Upon a Time ones is I know why some of I've got ones in my head that I know are going to get very low scores for certain sections, but they're almost always me problems.
Mm-hmm.
So like I can never say. I mean, I think the next episode that I gave a 30 is an objectively wonderful episode. I really do think it is, but also it's my favorite episode. But like with the ones that I take off points for, it's very much a me thing. So like I can't say that like there are no bad episodes. I honestly couldn't say that for you.
So that's probably what's going on with me is I can't say there's bad episodes. It's my comfort show. How am I going to go, oh no, this sucks? I know for a fact there
Yeah.
is one that I do not like, but it is probably one of the least liked episodes of
Mm-hmm.
this show that there is. When I remember when that episode came out, even in that like one group I
Mm-hmm.
talked about, everybody was just like, what the hell did we just
Yeah.
watch? Like everybody was like that. And then there's another one that had mixed reviews. I personally
Mm-hmm.
loved it, but I will explain that to you many seasons
Sounds
from
good.
now because I feel like we keep having this problem of like when you get there, it's just gonna be a couple of years,
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
just a little bit.
It's a tiny bit. So I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't touch on the guinea pig gate.
Yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't have spray painted the guinea pig.
R.I.P. Francis.
R.I.P. Francis. But also, that's a very old guinea pig.
How is the guinea pig still alive? Is my question.
It shouldn't be. Like, even with taking care of it well, they shouldn't last much more than 5 years.
I did not look into the lifespan of a guinea pig, but that sounds about right.
We are now Googling the lifespan of a guinea pig. I know he says like 3 to 4 years, but let's see.
Because I do know that I've read and I've learned from other like owners of guinea pigs, you should not only have one.
Mm-hmm.
They are an animal that they need two at least. They need a companion.
Yeah.
To be happy.
Guinea pigs live on average 5 to 7 years. The lifespan is longer than many other small pets, such as hamsters, gerbils, mice, or rats, all of whom live up to a few years. But 5 to 7 years is your average guinea pig. So it was...
Was it 14 or 17?
17?
I think it said 14. That's double.
Either way. Over double.
I mean, like I said, R.I.P. Francis, but how did he last that long? Especially without a companion.
I don't know.
Like guinea pigs I've always seen in twos.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we had a couple guinea pigs when I was younger. We got rid of our last pair when we got our dog because we just didn't think it was good to have them around a golden retriever.
Oh, fair.
So we donated them. A friend of ours worked at a preschool, so we donated them to be the class pets.
I love that.
Yeah, they went to a nice home. They got to have lots of friends.
I would say I wish someone would donate a pet to me, but I have enough. Never mind. Nope. I have children. That's enough.
I'll stick with my cats.
I love your cats.
Me too. Mabel has been fighting me all day from my chair.
I think Mabel's my favorite.
I mean, Mabel's the one that clings to me more. Charlie doesn't like people. She likes me and my mom. Like but she prefers my mother. So like
that's fair.
If it's like a weekend where it's just me, she's all over me because she just likes to be around somebody, but she doesn't like a lot of people. Mabel just likes to sit on my head. And I was like, Mabel just likes to sit on my head.
That's my cat. I like this cat.
So that's
like
Mabel.
I guarantee you if my husband were to ever meet your cats, the cats would stick to him like glue.
See, I don't know. Charlie has a harder time warming up. If she does warm up to somebody, it's not going to be a man.
Steven is the cat whisperer. My mom has a cat. His name is literally Hades.
Okay.
This cat hates me. Hates most people. This cat hisses at me. He hates me.
Oh, wow.
My husband walks in the door, jumps in his lap, lets him hold him, lets him pet him. Every cat he has come in contact with loves him.
Okay.
It angers me.
Yeah. In theory, she should want to climb my brother-in-law because he's very tall.
But maybe that's what it is. It's the tallness.
It might be, but she has no interest in him.
Sorry, we have to talk about our pets sometimes, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course.
They're just learning more, that's all. Which is ironic because, the Belchers can't afford a pet.
No, they can't.
They cannot.
No.
So, what did you rate this one? Your first Halloween.
This is my first 30. It's my first 30.
Yay!
Even with the massive amounts of Teddy, I still found the episode. It was.
I was worried.
I know it was still. It's the first Halloween episodes. I think it was already primed because Halloween episodes of cartoons are almost always my favorite episodes of most cartoons. Anyway, like I said with the Simpsons thing, like I watch the Real Housewives of Horror for a while. Every year I would watch all of them, but there's just now a lot of them that takes a lot of commitment and sitting down.
Oh yeah,
there's now like 35 of them. So that's a lot.
That takes a couple of days now.
Yeah, I can't sit down and watch all of them all at once anymore. I stopped watching it consistently. I still think like around season like 17 or 18, which to be fair is still like 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Which that
was a
can't
long
be
time
right.
ago.
So I don't know. Either way. But
There's a lot.
there's a lot of it. There's a lot of The Simpsons. But yeah, Halloween episodes are generally my favorite episodes to begin with. So I was primed. I like the trick-or-treating chaos, even if it is unrealistic. I found the murder mystery aspect of what happened to Francis more enjoyable, even though it was Teddy.
Yeah, it's Teddy's fault in the
It
end.
is Teddy's fault in the end. He really shouldn't have spray painted that guinea pig.
I mean, Bob did, you know,
Yeah.
lay on Francis, but it definitely is Teddy's fault. But
Also, really, you shouldn't let your guinea pig out to roam when there are people.
it's Teddy. I don't have an answer.
It really should have been in a cage or in its enclosure, whatever you want to consider it.
Yeah.
Having some enrichment time in its enclosure.
That's what I tell myself when I'm sitting down to watch my shows for this. I like the time for enrichment time in my enclosure. I'm going to sit down and watch my shows.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm just an old grandma. That's all.
Watching our stories.
Watching our stories and talking about them.
That's what we do.
Oh, good. So I gave this one 9 for plot. I love this plot. It's a good plot, but R.I.P. Francis. I gave it 8 for character because that was too much Teddy in my personal. It was a lot of Teddy.
Quite a bit.
And I gave it 9 for personal. So this was 26 for me.
Nice. It's a good score.
I'm so happy you have a 30 for Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. It was bound to happen. There's so many of them.
That is true. I think
I probably won't give every Halloween episode a 30, but this was the first one.
No, you won't.
Therefore has a special place in my heart. Oh yeah, you said there's one that you don't think I'm gonna like.
Oh, you're not gonna like it.
Okay.
I'm really excited for the next two. I'm looking once again through this next season, and once again, I'm really not seeing many that are bad. Like it's got, I don't know if it's me, if it's just how much I love this show, or if it truly is that how could anybody not like this? It's so funny.
That's
because
fair.
You're getting all your first holiday episodes in this like next few weeks, which is really funny because we'll be watching the Thanksgiving one right at the beginning of November. And then we will be able to, looks like we will hopefully be watching the Christmas one right like
before we take our hiatus.
Like right before we take our hiatus. Hopefully we make it to it. If not, I will beg you to like still like finish off on that one before we do, because then it's gonna feel really weird coming back in January and watching a Christmas episode after we just finished Christmas.
I say I clarify hiatus for us. In theory, once we start posting, there will not be any gaps in the way that we post things, but we're being generous with ourselves. We're giving ourselves some times off for some holidays. I'm going on vacation at the end of January, you know.
We got birthdays.
I love you, but I'm not recording a podcast from Disney World.
No. Happening. Go enjoy your vacation.
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Once Upon a Time, episode 114, Dreamy. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. And follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and TikTok.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Katie and Lauren and edited by Katie.